Hi, fifth graders. Today's topics are going to be adding unlike fractions, adding mixed fractions, word problems, and adding three unlike fractions. So we're going to deal a lot with fractions today. So let's start with adding unlike fractions. Let's just do the first one that's given on the left side. It gives us 1/6 plus 1/2. So we know that we can't add them yet because we don't know how to if the denominators are not the same, right? So we're going to have to find the LCM. And in this case, 2 can go into 6 and 6 can go into 6. So we're just going to need to turn the 1/2 into a denominator of 6 because 1/6 already has a denominator of 6. So we're just going to change 1/2 into a denominator of 6. And in order to do that, we would multiply top and bottom by 3. And that should give us 3/6. Now we just plug that back into the equation. So it'll be 1/6 plus 1/2. I'm sorry, 3/6. Whew. And then we just add the numerator, we get 4, and the denominator just should stay 6. And normally we would leave it at just 4/6, but we're just going to simplify because most teachers want you to simplify to the very end. So for both 4 and 6, 2 can go into both 4 and 6, so we're going to take out 2. So your final answer should be 2/3. And let's just write that into this box. Oops, opposite. 2/3. And that should be your final answer. Now we're going to be adding mixed fractions. So this is the same thing as the one we did in the first worksheet, except we have a whole number. So for this one, for now, let's just forget about the whole number, and we're going to go along with the fractions. So we have 8/10 and 2/6. So right now we want like the LCM, and we see that both these fractions can be simplified even further. So we're gonna simplify them to its most simplified form, I guess. So for 8/10, 2 can go into both 8 and 10. So we're gonna take them out. So it's gonna be 4/5. And for 2/6, 2 can be taken out, so it's going to be 1/3. Now with this right here, we're going to go straight into finding the LCM. And as we know, it would be 15. So we're just going to multiply 4/5 by 3/3. And then we're going to multiply 1/3 by 5/5. That should give us 15 plus 5/15. And that should give us 17/15. And this right here is an improper fraction, and it wants us to have mixed fractions, so we're just going to turn into a mixed fraction. 15 can go into 17 only once, so our whole number would be 1. But 17 minus 15 would be 2, so our remainder would be 2, and our denominator stays the same, which is 15. So right now we have a whole number. We have a mixed number, so it's 1 and 2/15. But we also know that there's whole numbers right here. So 5 plus 1 is just 6. And we're just going to add the 6 to this other one right here. So it's going to be 6 plus 1 and 2/15. And that should give you 7 and 2/15. And as I said before, you don't have to start with simplifying it. In this case, I just simplified it just to find the LCM. You could just add with the 8/10 and 2/6. It doesn't always have to be simplified, but your final answer must also always be simplified to its max. Now we're going to do word problems. Number 2 says 2 classes ordered lunch from a restaurant. In one class, 5/6 of the children ordered sandwiches. In the other class, 1/2 of the children ordered sandwiches. What is the total number of children that ordered sandwiches? Okay, so we see that 5/6 of the children ordered sandwiches. In the other class, half of the children ordered sandwiches. And there's 2 classes, so we're gonna add the one class and the other class together. So it's gonna be 5/6 plus 1/2. And we can't add without the denominators being the same. So I'm gonna multiply 1/2 by 3/3. This should lead us to 5/6 plus 3/6. And when you add the numerators, you would get 8/6. Because remember, the denominators stay the same. So your answer, when you simplify it, would be 4/3, because you take out a 2 for both. So what's the total number of children that order sandwiches? The total number would be 4/3. Oops. 4/3. Or you can leave it as a mixed number, and it'll be 1 and 1/3. 1 and 1/3 of the children. Oh, just make sure that your labeling is correct. Now we're going to be adding unlike fractions. Number 3 gives us 2/4 plus 2/5 plus 2/10. So for this one, we see that 2/4 can be simplified a little bit more. So I'm going to do that first. I get 1/2 plus 2/5 plus 10. 2/10. And as I said before, these 3 fractions have totally different denominators. So the first thing I want to do is find the LCM of the denominators. And I know that both 5 and 2 can go into 10. So I'm going to make the denominators into 10. So 1/2, I would have to multiply the top and bottom by 5/5, which gives us 5/10. As for 2/5, I would have to multiply by 2/2, which gives us 4/10. And then we already have 2/10. So now we're just going to add, since we have the same denominators. So it's 5/10 plus 4/10 plus 2/10. So we know the denominators stay the same, so we're just going to leave it as 10. And then 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 plus 2 is 11. And you can choose to leave it as an improper fraction for this one. So our final answer would be 11/10, and it can't be simplified any further. And this is all I have for you guys today. I hope this video helped you guys a bit.